Hello, this is Bright Spark, and welcome to part 4 of Rift of Shadows. One thing before we start, if you haven't watched a certain show, yes, I'm talking to you, the same person who I made all of those OCs for, you'll know if it's you. Just heads up, the story has some spoilers, I guess, for that show. I won't say what that show is yet, but I want to see if anyone can guess it, but my friend should be warned. There is a little bit of spoilers. Pebbleshine ran away from camp, where her love Hawkwing was defending her. She barely had time to think before she took her kits and ran. Luckily, Twig Kit was already fast enough to just barely follow behind, and if it took it, Pebbleshine would carry her on her back. Violet Kit, however, was still shivering in fear in her maw. Pebbleshine didn't dare let her down in fear of her slowing them down. 2 rogues were sent after them. Pebbleshine could definitely tell it. Broken sticks and the dead leaves were crashing through behind them. Pebbleshine just had to run. After a long time of running, she lost them when she crossed a dangerous thunder path, which luckily left her and her kids safe. After a moment to gather her thoughts, she couldn't help but think about her mate Hawkwing. She doubted he was still alive, not after the way she saw Darktail kill Leafstar. A sob tried to escape her throat. How could she ever have trusted him? He destroyed SkyClan. Pebbleshine turned to her kits. They looked ever so tired and weary, especially Violet Kit, still shivering. Pebbleshine would not allow herself to get consumed by her thoughts. She would keep going. Moons pass, and Twig Kit and Violet Kit are now apprentice age, and their new names, since they can't be a kid anymore, are Twig and Violet. Pebbleshine was always a very StarClan-fearing cat, so she thought they could only receive apprentice names and warrior names from a leader or StarClan, so she just called them Twig and Violet, leaving the Kit out of it. Twig was a righteous cat, who was trained by Pebbleshine in all of the warrior ways, through fighting and hunting. She's very talented and grows stronger every day. Violet, however, is not as tough as her sister. No matter how much she tries, she can't fight well at all. Pebbleshine tried to teach her, but after a long time of failure, Pebbleshine just had to accept the fact she wasn't as talented as Twig, so she stopped training her so much. Violet has always been a bit jealous of her sister, but that never drove a difference between them. She had her own talents, such as her impeccable hunting skills. She could catch pretty much anything. Pebbleshine says she took after her father, but she also liked to play. So she liked to mess around with the trees, climbing up them, getting little pebbles to keep in their hollow trunks so she could bat them down to mess with Twig as she trained, and covering little holes in the ground with leaves so her sister couldn't trip. But they weren't alone in their new home, far away from SkyClan. There was another group that lived nearby. They were called the Sisters. And when Pebbleshine first came to this area, the sisters took her in with open arms, helping her out as she raised her 2 kids alone. They even offered her to join if she wanted to, but Pebbleshine declined, sticking to the warrior life she knew she should follow. But along with the sisters, they had their own kits, and 3 kits were definitely important. All of Moonlight Kits, the leader of the sisters, were best friends with Twig and Violet, being named Ice, Sunrise, and Earth. Ice and Sunrise often hung out with Twig, while Earth and Violet got up to mischief. Among one of them were exploring new places, and that's where we begin. While all the young cats are hanging out in the sisters' camp, talking about various things like training with Twig, and Earth having to leave for his wander soon, to Violet's sadness, Earth mentions finding a new place very close by that they haven't explored yet. It has a spring and a little pool and everything, he says. Ice decides to stay in camp. She doesn't like exploring that much anyways, but the rest of them are very excited by the idea. Earth takes them out of camp at night so they could sneak away, and as they look at the stars, one of them seems like it's falling from the sky. Earth notes it's directing towards the same place they were heading to, so that just motivates them further to explore. Twig becoming kind of worried about this trip though. They hear a loud crash, and as soon as Earth leads them there, they see a steaming lump of rock glittering in the night. Everyone is worried by now, but Violet is very intrigued, and trying to prove herself to be brave and competent, she goes forward and touches the rock, against her sister's better judgment. At first nothing happens, then Violet starts to hear voices, loud ones, and seeing faint outlines of cats, ghosts. This makes her panic and black out, freaking Twig and Earth out. Sunrise, being curious, touches the rock herself, but nothing happens. It's as if it only affected Violet. By now, they are causing quite the scene. Twig desperately trying to wake Violet up, and Earth panicking that it is his fault. That they kind of forgot a very important rule of the sisters, and Pebbleshine told them while they were away, stay hidden, stay quiet. Because Darktail's rogues patrolled as far as here, and they would find them. And he would take over the forest just to have his revenge on Pebbleshine. And because of the noise and the fact that they were in a place where a huge noise had happened, it didn't take long for two rogues to find them and chase them down. Luckily, Violet woke up drowsily, her ears still ringing with all the new noise that plagued them, just in time for them to flee. Luckily, through Twig's extremely experienced fighting skills, and with the help of Sunrise, they lost the rogues and went home just in time to escape them. Alright, that's it for today. If you stuck around this long, guess in the comments what's going to happen next. And if you want to, you can also guess what show this is based on, but there'll be more hints about that in the future. Bye!